Hey folks, I haven't been feeling great recently, and it got me thinking, and there's something that I've been wanting to talk about for a long time, just, in general. We all have different ways of expressing our emotions. Our emotional language differs from person to person, and when we're upset, different people will obviously react in different ways, and work through those emotions differently. For example, when I'm upset, I will usually fall to two defaults. I will, 1, sing at the top of my voice, doesn't even matter what song it is, whether it's a happy song or a sad song, whatever it is, I will just sing as loud as I can. And getting out the pent-up energy that I have that way soon becomes a very fun experience until I'm just singing, and all of the songs I sing become happy and upbeat or dramatic and stupid. I actually went home a couple days ago to spend some time with my family. I live in Wales currently and they live in England, and while my parents were at work, I was cooking and I just sang as loud as I could, and it was a really freeing experience. It's very therapeutic to just be as loud as you want for a while. The second default I usually turn to is vent art. Now, a lot of artists understand the concept of venting our emotions through our work, and what I've also noticed about a lot of people is that they seem to be worried about other people seeing this artwork. And I understand why, obviously. Other people seeing something incredibly personal to you, especially from a time when you weren't feeling your best, maybe about something that the other person wasn't even aware of, that's a very vulnerable experience, and a lot of artists I see try to avoid it or glaze over it. I was looking at a sketchbook tour of one of my favourite artists, and it came to a page where they had drawn some vent art, and they covered the page instantly, laughed it off, brushed it off, and then, swiftly moved onward. And even saying this, I am very aware that I also do this. Many artists do this. We don't want people to worry about us, especially if the thing that made us upset has passed or has run its course. And usually people will ask us, inevitably, if we're alright after seeing, this vent art, which, at that point in time, can just feel a little bit awkward, if you draw something and then the moment passed and someone looks at the drawing and says, hey, you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. Even if they have the best intentions, it can sometimes be a bit awkward. When first writing the script of this video, I was planning to add in a story about when one of my friends found some vent art that I had done and reacted badly to it. As I was writing it out, though, I realised that there was actually a lot more to it than I thought, and it would have made the video a lot longer and, just far too long, so I may just have to make that into a separate video, because I still feel like what I have to say in that video is very important. So it may just not have a place in this video because it was an isolated incident, but I will most likely be making a video about that in the future. I've always wanted to do a story time. Start with some heavy stuff, why don't we? The main point of this video is that I think it's important to be aware of our emotions and let them manifest in safe ways. Vent art, for me, is one of the ways that I process my feelings. I don't draw vent art every single time that I'm sad, my god, no, I'd be drowning in paper and computer files. But when I do, it allows me to pour this raw emotion into my work. Some of the most powerful paintings I've come across have come from a very strong emotion. The most striking usually focuses on the negative emotions. This can be seen from so many paintings about war and loss. And I will say with certainty that some of the work that I am the most proud of, even years later, have been pieces of vent art. Not only does the overall look or aesthetic of the piece just satisfy me in some way, but I have a very strong sense of emotion coming from it. I know how much heart and feeling went into that piece. I know how much of myself I gave to that piece of work. I find my best pieces are the ones that come from a place of very strong emotion. I'm really proud of the piece that I did for Pride this year because, God, it was strangely therapeutic. When I started that piece, it wasn't my intention to have it be some sort of venting vessel. I just wanted to make something bright and personal, but as it went on, and I really thought about everything that I went through on my personal journey, I couldn't stop it from being something more. And I love it because it turned out great, and I love it because I tried various new techniques that didn't fall flat on its face. But I love it most because I poured all of my years of longing and confusion and worry and love and acceptance and relief into that piece. That piece meant something to me. Vent art doesn't always have to be negative. I've also had experiences of venting an overwhelming positive feeling through my work, and I've been very happy with it because I feel like that emotion breathes life into what I'm doing. Most of the time, though, the overwhelming feeling that go into my best paintings are negative ones. Life is suffering. Art is suffering. That's why it's called painting. Life is pain, princess. Anyone who says differently is selling something. I think that vent art is incredibly important, and it will always be a safe outlet for my emotions, that I know I can create something. I know that I can create something more than what I think the empty aching in my chest can achieve. And I will continue trying to turn that aching into something I can be proud of. And yeah, that's a lot of what I want to say about the matter. Thank you so much for letting me ramble about things that I'm passionate about. I'm a big advocate of creative outlets of emotion, so I hope you all don't get too embarrassed when you draw something dark or indulgent to get through a hard time. You know, things can be tough, and it's important to work through it at your own pace with what works for you. It's okay. I hope you're having a lovely time wherever you are, and stay safe. Ta-ra!